goodness. So we're up to day 2, being the 2nd of April here in Adelaide, Australia. And I'm on my 30-day video challenge. So as I said this morning, hi Christina. As I said this morning, these 30-day video challenges have been absolutely brilliant for me, um, getting over a fear, I guess, of public speaking and actually allowing myself the space to have a voice and to use it in a way that is actually feeding into my ultimate life mission of creating a different world. And today I'd like to talk about acknowledging the thing that grows. Now, I have a little story that I like to use as an analogy for growth and acknowledgement, and something that's quite visual. So, and it's maybe a little bit so it just makes me laugh when I think about it. So imagine you have a gorgeous, delicious partner in front of you, somebody that you're choosing to play with, preferably a man. And what happens is you stand, like while you're sitting there and you're looking at them, and then all of a sudden you start judging them for all of the things that they haven't done today. And before that, they were standing in front of you. They were all like, yeah, baby, here I am. And, everything was, whoop, hello, here I am. And you sit there and you start in your mind judging them for everything that they haven't done today, or this week, or the month, or the year. And all of those spaces and places where you're holding a grudge against them because they didn't do X, Y, and Z, or they said something wonky, or they didn't say you looked beautiful today, or that sort of stuff. And all of those judgments start showing on your face. And then next thing you know, what happens to him and his beautiful manliness? It goes, meow. Now, in that moment of actually not acknowledging the gift that you have right before you, being him and his excitement to be with you and all of that, you've acknowledged the thing that you've made bigger than all of that, and all of that fun and deliciousness and excitement is your judgments. And you've made that bigger than having fun with your delicious, delightful, insignificant other. Now, how often do we do that in our lives about ourselves? And this is a little bit of a shout out and a huge thank you to absolutely everybody who has commented on my post, helping me to acknowledge and receive and also contribute towards my business mentoring lifestyle business course that I'm attending right now, that I'm doing right now. And I asked the question of, what am I known for, and what do people think about me, and what positive things do people say about me? And there have been some absolutely amazing, insightful, incredibly humbling comments that have been left. And I tell you, more than a half a dozen times, my eyes have welled up in gratitude for every single one of you who have commented on that post. And there are key words that are coming out of that, which will go and feed into the projects that I have to do for the course. But beyond just the course, just that moment of acknowledgement of how I have contributed to you and your guys' lives is huge in my world. So I just wanted to really say thank you from the bottom of my heart for allowing me to see and receive from you guys how you feel about me, and all the different ways that you perceive me, and I'm incredibly grateful for that. And so is my business. These are the things, like, you'll be tootling along in your world and you're sort of really not sure if you're making an impact or not. You're just hoping in some ways that you might be. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Hi, Maria. Thank you for putting all of those amazing, beautiful, insightful, incredible comments up on that post about, me asking for help for my business course. So, with going back to acknowledging the thing that grows, now the universe doesn't actually have a point of view about what you acknowledge. It doesn't only grow the things that are positive. It doesn't only grow the things that you think are going to make you money. It doesn't only grow the things that make you feel good. It doesn't only grow the things that make you happy. It'll grow whatever you are putting your focus on. So if you're focusing on all the judgments and all the negativity and everything about your life, that's what's going to grow. That's what you're going to get more of, because you're telling the universe that's what you wish to have in your world. And that's what you wish to really incorporate more of into your world. Hi, Lois. And to be honest, when I wasn't going to go here, but okay. When I had just broken up with my first husband, and I was about 27, and there was this one particular moment that it's funny because every time it comes up, it's like, wow, okay. And you know how you have those pivotal moments in your life where people can sort of semi refer back to it without realizing that they're doing that. And one of the things that people say to me a lot, and it's something that came up in that post, was you are, how are you so happy? How are you so happy with everything that you've been through in your life? And there has been a lot. How are you remaining so happy and so positive and upbeat and you like always look on the lighter side of life? And really, it comes back to that moment when I was sitting in my car. I had split up with my first husband after 7.5 years of being together. He had, been cheating on me for 6.5 years of it, and I had no idea. And my whole world had been wrapped around him. He was a um, gaslighting narcissist with borderline personality disorder, but we didn't know any of the borderline personality disorder part until the end of our relationship, when he was actually seeing a psychiatrist, and he got diagnosed formally. And so, on the advice of his psychiatrist, he got in touch with me as I was in my mum's house for a little break, a little weekend holiday on my own, and he'd had a 2-day drinking binge and confessed all of his sins over about a 2-hour conversation. And at that time, I stayed very, very present with what was required. I didn't get angry. I didn't get sad. I didn't get emotional at all. There was something inside of me just said, you need to know this information, and you need to know as much as you can get right now. And so that's what I did. I asked a shitload of questions, and I got all the information and as much knowledge as I could around why everything happened how it did. The shock didn't set in until about half an hour or so after, maybe an hour after I'd hung up the phone from him. And I have to say my family were absolutely fucking brilliant around that time. Within a couple of days, they had me moved out of the house. But what the flow-on effect of that was that I left my job because I just couldn't handle people. I had lost my life because everything in my life had revolved around him. That's part of the narcissistic gaslighting traits, is actually isolating the partner so that they can only refer back to them and as the be all and end all. So my whole world and my whole existence and my financial reality was completely based around him. We moved when he wanted to move. We chose a house when he wanted to, like the house that he wanted to choose. We financially, everything was about him. And I felt incredibly guilty for even spending $5 on myself, let alone as much as I am now. And hi, Sarah. So lovely you could join me from Vancouver. Um, and so it was during the few weeks after all of the shock and the depression and the fact that I just lost everything. My finances were gone, my house was gone, my job was gone, my friends were gone, everything was gone, and I was completely, basically homeless and semi living out of my car. But I was lucky I had my mum there, and but she was not in her proper home at that stage either. It was a massive, huge upheaval for everybody, and my mum found me one day and I was sitting in my car and it was quite a sunny day. I remember that. And I was bawling my eyes out and I had tears running down my face. I had snot coming out my nose. I had, everything was right there. And mum's like, initially, she's like, "Are you coming inside?" And I'm like, "I can't do it." And she goes, "What? Coming inside?" And I'm like, "No. I just can't do relationship anymore. This is too hard." And she looked at me, and she's been single for a long, long time. And she had, she looked at me and she said, "Sweetheart, they're not all bad. Please don't give up on them. You don't have to be like me." And I just looked at her and I was like, "Really?" And she said, "Yeah, you don't have to be like me. You still have so much love to give. Don't let it go to waste." So, what she was acknowledging in me at that moment, and for some of you, you know my history with my mum, it's not always been great. We don't often have those kinds of conversations ever. But it was well required at that point. And so she let me just settle down in my car and, just take a breather. And in that moment, I made the decision and the choice to be happy. No matter what, I was never going to be in that space again where I was driven and had lost myself so much that even the thought of suicide was preferable to putting myself out there again. And that moment of actually acknowledging that it's possible to be happy, even though I was in the worst depression I've ever had in my whole life, and it lasted a long, it was short-term depression, but it lasted for, I would say, at least 4 months. And after 3 months, I was able to go back to work. But it was a long journey for me. I'm used to things happening quite quickly. So 3 months of actually having to look and take care of myself was huge. And it taught me how to be happy. How to be happy even when you're working hard. How to be happy even when you're going through crunchy moments. How to be happy even through the worst of the worst situations that you could imagine. There's still moments of happiness. There's still moments where you can look at the silver lining in the cloudy day. It's like, what if that cloud is full of rain that's going to give nourishment to the earth? That's something beautiful. So, in acknowledging what grows, what are you acknowledging today? What are you choosing to be? How are you choosing to be? How are you choosing to present yourself in the world? If you put up a post asking for help around what people think of you in the world, what would they say about you? What do you say about you? And here's the other thing. If you're sitting there going, "I'm fucking useless, I'm terrible with money, I've got no hope of getting anywhere in life, my relationship sucks and I suck, I can't do anything right." And a lot of that was actually internal dialogue while I was with my first husband. A lot of that was sitting there. A lot of that internal dialogue of looking at my body and going, "You're fucking fat and ugly." And then I managed to vaguely turn that around a little bit by going, "But you do have beautiful eyes." So I would sometimes, and not often, but sometimes I would manage to sort of counteract a negative thought. But nowadays, it's like those thoughts really aren't there unless I'm tuning into other people's worlds, in which case it pops up. But I realize very quickly that it's not mine. And I return that to centers with consciousness attached, which is one of the tools from Access Consciousness that I use a lot now. So again, I ask, what are you focusing on? How are you treating your body? Are you treating your body like it's your best friend? Are you treating your partner's body with honoring and respect and adoring and gratitude? Lots of things to think about. So anyway, I wonder what tomorrow will bring. I'm looking forward to doing the other couple of videos I have to do today. And thank you so much for joining me and listening to me yabber on about this lovely topic, which is very dear to my heart. There is a lot more around that, especially those first 7.5 years and the progression from there to where I am today, that may come up over the next 30 days. We'll see. Or 31 days, as the case may be. I think there's 31 days in April, right? Anyway, guys, have an absolutely brilliant day. I'm hoping you focus on what is bright and positive and wonderful in your life. And I'll chat to you tomorrow.